Welcome to the USS Enterprise and to another episode of Alan's Collection. Today I give you the android of the crew. We're talking about Commander Data, a character with calculating demeanor, even more so than Captain Jean-Luc Picard himself. I am pleased to review Ultimate Super7 Commander Data. Let's begin! Ultimate Super7 Star Trek The Next Generation Data. The most beloved android of Star Trek The Next Generation is without doubt Commander Data, and it is not hard to admire his wit and to appreciate his innocence at the same time. He is both witty and naive at the same time. So let's check out the outer box. This is the front of the box, and as you can see, it has a starry background with nebula clouds and stars with different sizes. And on the center we can see the classic Star Trek logo. Moving on to the first side of the box, we have a starry background, which is an extension of the front of the box. Now, checking the back of the box. Here we have space with stars and nebulas, and on the center we have the words Star Trek The Next Generation, and below we have the logo of Star Trek, and to the right the logo of Super7. Now let's check out the other side of the box, which again it's an extension of the front of the box, and it has quite a few stars there. And we're back to the front of the box. I forgot to mention, it's a sleeve box. As you can see, these Ultimate Super7 figures are sleeve boxes. They have sleeve boxes. Okay guys, here we have the outer box, and we can take a better look at Brent Spiner, Commander Data. You can see that this is a Super7 Ultimates window box where you can appreciate the figure itself, and of course his accessories as well. Below we have the Star Trek logo in big letters and the name of the figure, Data. Now let's check out the first side of the box, which is an extension of the front of the box, and the rest is black. Now let's check out the back of the box. Here we have a simulation of the USS Enterprise's computer, where you can collect information and place it on the vessel's system. So of course here we have information about the character, about Commander Data. We have a picture of Commander Data there, and we seem to have here some measurement parameters. Okay, next let's check out the other side of the box, which is again an extension of the front of the box. You can see part of the figure, and the rest is black with some patterns there. Now we're back to the front of the box. Okay guys, here we have the blister box for Star Trek Commander Data. You can appreciate more the figure and also the accessories. Here we have also the accessories. Now, let's check out Commander Data's vanilla pose. Okay guys, this actually gives me goosebumps, as I remember having the vintage Lieutenant Commander Data back in the day. And now, more than 30 years later, I'm looking again at a Commander Data figure. So let's check him out. First of all, let's check out his uniform. Remember, Starfleet officers wear jumpsuits and the color would indicate the division. In the case of Lieutenant Commander Data, his jumpsuit is gold and black because he is a Chief Operation Officer. The uniform is nicely painted but does have a scratch on the lower right, just below the communicator badge. The hands are nicely painted in pale white. And on the neck, as you can see there, he has 3 buttons. And of course, the communicator badge is silver and gold, and he wears it on the top right if you see it from my angle, guys. Now let's check out the head sculpt. I'm impressed about Data's lightness here. They really did sculpt very accurately the face of Brent Spiner. You can see the nice details in the eyes. Data always had a deep look. You know he was analyzing thousands of variables at the same time, and the figure does capture that look really, really well. Regarding the paint application, it's really good but does appear to have some yellow brushes there. And finally, the brown hair is nicely sculpted, and the color of the hair blends very nicely with the color of Data's skin, guys. Very cool. Alright guys, let's check out Lieutenant Commander Data's articulation now. Okay guys, let's check out the articulation for Lieutenant Commander Data. So let's start with the head. The head goes down and the head goes up. The head can turn left and the head turns right very nicely. Now let's move to the torso. As you can see, the torso moves forward and the torso can move backwards a bit. But the torso moves to the left and it moves to the right very nicely. Now let's check out the arm's articulation. As you can see, the arm moves forward and the arm moves backwards. The arm can move out as well. Commander Data does have a bicep cut and also single jointed elbow articulation. As you can see, it moves like this very nicely. And of course the hand moves up and down. And the hand rotates as well. Checking out the leg articulation. As you can see, the leg moves forward and the leg moves backwards a bit. The leg, however, does move out very nicely. Data does have a single jointed knee articulation. You can bend the knee all the way up to here. And finally, let's check out Commander Data's foot articulation. The foot moves down and up, and it also has a rocker, guys. It moves from side to side. And that's it for Commander Data's articulation. Now let's check out the accessories. Okay guys, here we have the accessories. Let's start with the alternate head sculpts. Here we have the first one, where you can see part of his inner synthetic structure. So instead of human tissues and bones, we have robotic components, a gray structure with red dots there. Very cool. And of course we can also see a rather large cable attached to his brain, which is probably used for running diagnostics in his system. Next we have the playing poker head, as it has a visor. Some high-ranking members of the USS Enterprise were die-hard poker players. Next we have Spot the Cat, who Data was very excited to analyze his behavior. He even made quite the presentation in front of some Starfleet officers with his classic and moving conclusion. "Spot the cat is my friend," Data said. As you can see, he is nicely sculpted in a sitting down position with his brown stripes and orange fur color. What is it with officers in Starfleet playing instruments? We've seen Commander Riker play the trombone, Captain Picard plays the Resican flute, and Data plays the violin. Data's violin with the shoulder resting pad on the bottom and the typical brown colors that classic violins have. We also get the bow, which is used to strike the violin chords. Very cool. Next we have the phaser, a weapon for Starfleet officers. And we also get a tricorder, handheld devices that can perform environmental scans. The tricorder is nicely painted in silver and has some buttons there. And it even has a small blue screen. Next, let's move to the poker accessories. First, we have a poker chip stack, and then we have a poker chip pile. I hope I don't lose these tiny accessories, guys. Next, let's move to the interchangeable hands. Speaking about poker, the first one has a fan-out deck of cards. Next, we have a gripping hand for holding the phaser. And then we have another gripping hand to hold the bow. And of course, the other one, interchangeable hand here, is for holding the violin, guys. And that's it for the accessories. Here we have Data from Star Trek The Next Generation, a program that I saw with much excitement, happiness, and it was an introduction for me to look up to the stars. And Data, along with Commander Riker and Captain Jean-Luc Picard and other members of the crew, made my childhood much more exciting, guys. So as you know, Data is a self-aware, sentient android who served as a second officer and chief operations officer above the Federation starship USS Enterprise. In some ways, his seriousness, the fact that he's not entirely human, makes him a very funny character as well. A lot of fun to watch, guys. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching this review. I have very much enjoyed reviewing Commander Data. Do not forget to give a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next on Alan's Collection.